to the town of Des Moines, where the town, in fact, the fairgrounds becomes its very own location, its very own town. It opened up on Thursday. They've had showers, they've had storms, they've had any kind of food on a stick you could find, and they have Andy Petersen. We have Andy Petersen live from the Iowa State Fairgrounds this morning, joining us via Zoom, setting the scene. First off, Andy, are they gathering animals 2 by 2 out there on the fairgrounds this morning, or have things kind of calmed down and dried out a little bit?
Well, if you needed to gather animals 2 by 2, this would certainly be the place to do it, I guess. It's about any type of animal that you might need under the sun ends up in a show ring somewhere out here at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. So far, about 4.2 inches, I believe, has fallen, and everything else is, managed to. And we say hi to State Fair Board member Tenny Carlson.
Do you know that woman, or does she just think you're good looking? What happened there?
It's not as bad when I come out here as when you come out here. I mean, the autograph seekers are, in full force from before you even get through the gate. But crowds have been really, really good so far here at the State Fair. Of course, the Megan Maroney concert on Saturday night, the Pitbull concert last night drew really well. Big Boar, Big Bull, Big Ram have all been named. No records were set this year, but still very large animals that are always big attractions. And of course, we had the thrill and the honor of presenting our very first Heart of the County Fair Awards on Friday night at the County Fair Award Banquet. 5 very deserving, dedicated volunteer families who are integral in making sure that these county fairs and festivals go on. Were properly recognized up at the manager's lawn at the county fair evening banquet. And the Pullen family from Waterloo, one of those very deserving honorees. And I asked a question about how many hours, or in their case, weeks, months of their lives had been volunteered. And of course, they haven't kept track, but it could be very possible, Justin, that those folks have volunteered up to a year of their lives to help the Black Hawk County and the National Fair and the National Cattle Congress. So it was very rewarding to see the joy and on their faces as they accepted these very meaningful awards.
Well, and Andy, what's it like? I mean, you've gone to the State Fair as a kid. I've gone, and we go as adults now, but to remind people in Des Moines that, there's more to the State Fair than just Des Moines, that, there's 98 other counties around the state, and you're bringing attention to a lot of folks that, aren't around Des Moines. That's got to be a good feeling to kind of spread that butter over everybody's toast around the state.
Absolutely, and I'll give a lot of credit to the State Fair for working side by side with the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network in developing this worthwhile recognition, because it really does take everybody. It takes Iowa's 102 county fairs and festivals and the contests that take place, teaching life lessons along the way in order to qualify for competition here at the State Fair, to create, I guess, the magnitude of the State Fair, at least winning the competition at the State Fair that comes along with it. So it was a really neat evening. One of those things that doesn't maybe grab a whole lot of headlines or isn't down on the main stage to be viewed by the masses maybe as it ought to be, but just as important of an event that took place on the State Fairgrounds as anything else.
We got just under 2 minutes left. So this week, this is the full week. Then you got the weekend. What comes up this week? What people who are leaving from Cedar Rapids or leaving from Eastern Iowa to go to the fair this week, what are they going to go see?
Well, certainly the Truck and Tractor Pull, Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pull tomorrow and Wednesday on the Elwell Family Center track. Farm Bureau Cookout up on the Grand Concourse is always a good time. It's the best smelling day of the fair by far. And, of course, samples are available, too, of some of the best barbecue the state has to offer. They'll crown a champion at the end of that. Wednesday, here's another event that doesn't probably get the attention it deserves, is the Iowa Environmental Leader Awards, where the governor, the secretary of ag, and the director of the DNR will recognize farm families across the state who are leading the way, doing the right thing in regard to enhancing water quality efforts through updated farming practices, precision nutrient applications, and many other activities on the farm. And then Thursday is probably the event that's nearest and dearest to my heart, and that is the Century and Heritage Farm recognition, in which deserving farm families who have owned their farm for 100 and 150 years, respectively,
Awesome.
will receive their commemorative plaques inside the livestock pavilion.
Ladies and gentlemen, he was on stage with Pitbull last night. He's with us live this morning from the State Fairgrounds. Andy, thank you for the time, good sir. Stay cool and hydrated out there, and we look forward to talking to you here maybe later in the week before we wrap up the State Fair.
Yeah, sounds like a plan, Justin. My pleasure, as always.
There you go, Andy Petersen, Iowa Agribusiness Radio.